Farmers and Merchants Bank has been helping people with their financial needs for over 100 years. And FMB is right here in Lakeland, Georgia to serve you. Whether you need personal banking with checking and savings accounts, money market and IRAs, or business banking with checking, cash management, and loans, FMB is also your lending solution for both personal and business. Whatever your banking needs, Farmers and Merchants Bank remains committed to be the best of the best. North Carter Street in Lakeland. Go Dogs! Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Huddle House in Lakeland, Georgia is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With a clean and friendly atmosphere, you'll always get the service you're looking for. They have a variety of menu items for you to choose from, whether it's an omelet or a hamburger. And you can even order takeout, whether you sit at the bar or at a table. The staff at Huddle House is always looking out for you. Huddle House in Lakeland, open 24/7, 251 West Main Street. That's 251 West Main Street. Stop on by and eat something.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Keith Newbern here live tonight with Jeremy Lewis and Coach Rob Brunell for the third edition of the LC Coaches Show. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. We're going to talk a little bit about the softball program. You've been unable to join us. We've been talking about it anyway.
Yeah,
You've been busy getting Gracie going to school. So
I have. That's been a chore in itself.
That's right. So she's settled in now.
She is. She's all settled up and kind of got through her first week class, so she's good. And they've started basketball already, so she's happy. So now it's time for me to settle completely into softball.
That's right. Well, I know we're here to talk about softball, but I know everybody was interested in hearing how Gracie was doing, because everybody thought a lot of Gracie still do.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, she's doing well. She's excited, and like I said, they've been working out and going, so she's excited about where they're headed with everything. So it should be an interesting time for sure.
Good. Talk a little bit about Lady Dog softball. We started out, we're 5-1 so far, but only losing to Tifton up there in the watermelon tournament.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we've been pretty. I don't think we really kind of played what I would consider be our best ball at this point. I mean, we've done a few things to kind of get ourselves by, and I think we found ways to win even in some tight situations, and I think that'll help us down the way.
Right.
Certainly Tiff was a good ball game. It's one of those you hate to lose 1-0, but at the same time, I told the girls at the end, that's the kind of ball game you want. It's back and forth, and one little bounce here or there could kind of make the difference, and it didn't bounce our way, but if you're 5-1 and your one loss is to a 7A, you're in pretty good shape, I think.
That's right. Well, said we was down to our last. I didn't get to go. We was at football, I believe, that night, but
right.
They said it came down to the final swing of the bat.
It did. We were pretty patient, and Steffi Gano kind of led off the inning, or pretty much with a walk, and we kind of got we got the bases loaded pretty quick. They put Aniston on. I don't think Steffi led off. We had 2 outs in the inning. Steffi had a pretty solid at bat, and then we just. She walked, and then Elle got a little flare hit out behind short, and then they put Aniston on to set up, to force it every base. And Sammy Siska, she hit a bullet. I mean, she really did, and it went off the third baseman's glove and kind of rolled into foul territory a little bit, but just didn't roll out far enough for us to be able to move everybody up. So, but she got good metal on it, and you give yourself a shot when you do that. So
that's right.
And even the run we gave up was a great hustle play by Elle Watson. She was really trying to make a diving catch, and it's one of those things where I appreciate the all-out effort we're trying to do. Maybe you take it on a hop and don't give up that run, but at the same time, you want that effort to go get the ball. So
that's right.
I mean, it's just unfortunate the way it happened, but it was a pitcher's duel all the way through, so it was really, really good quality game.
Right. Well, 2 most recent games, we went down to Statenville last Tuesday.
Right.
Beat them 10-0. Ramsey throws a perfect game.
Yeah. It was kind of – I didn't really know what to expect from her, to be honest with you. She'd been out for really since midsummer, and she had had some issues with her shoulder and arm, so she was really shut down for a while. So she really hadn't pitched a whole lot, and had been limited to the number of pitches she could throw, even in our bullpen sessions. So, to put her out there, I thought she was fairly sharp. She didn't quite have the ball moving maybe like she wanted to, but I felt like she kept them off balance pretty well. She hit her spots. And a perfect game on, I think it was about 57 pitches. So you can't, you're pretty efficient.
That's right.
I think she struck out 11. So, that's a pretty good start for coming back. And we're still going to kind of monitor her innings and pitch count for a little while till we can, get her built back up, condition-wise or whatever.
That's right. Then, of course, Thursday, I think it was, came home and played Valdosta.
That's right.
Looked like you played looking at the box score, like you played a lot of girls.
I did. I tried to kind of get everybody in the game. I think it's important, for us to, really get some experience on the kids, and so they're, ready for if we got to use them in a big-time situation. And we do have some injuries right now. We had Reagan Newsom has gone down with an ankle injury from working out she was actually doing workouts in her weightlifting class and twisted her ankle. So we're not sure exactly what time frame we're going before we get her back. The word is it's just a light sprain. She's in a walking boot.
Mm-hmm.
Sammy Siska that evening was sick. She had a sinus and throat infection, so we kind of tried to limit her. And even Braylon Burkhalter was sick. So we really kind of had some shifting around to do. But I love the young girls really stepped up. They know their role.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing a good job in their role. And I think, so the more we can continue to do that, the better off we're going to be.
Yeah, I knew I saw Braylon over at a middle school game. I said, hey, girl, why you ain't in practice? She said, I'm sick, and the coach told me just take the day off.
I did. And actually, even in that game, I told her, I said, look, I appreciate you. She gave me an at-bat and played an inning or so at second. And I just told her, I said, look, if you need to have a seat and go sit in the dugout or whatever, in the locker room and stay cool, I said, we're okay with that. So, it was fine for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was asking if we'd like something to drink.
Yeah, go ahead if you want. Order live on the air. That don't matter. It's all right.
Yeah, we're here at the Huddle House. I don't know if I mentioned that when we came on. We appreciate Mr. Jimmy Brown allowed us to use this same table just about every week for the past 3 weeks to do the coaches show, and can't thank him enough for letting us use his facilities. And he's also, which we're not doing it tonight, I don't believe, but he's let the teams come up and work the tables, and he gives them a percentage of his profit for the evening. I think tonight everybody wanted to take the night off. So, but if you're still out and about, you come up and meet with Mr. Jimmy, we'd appreciate it because he's gracious enough to let us use the spot here in the restaurant. But Jeremy, when she comes back, tell her I'll take a Coke.
I'll take actually a sweet tea, one of those sweet teas while we're at it.
All right, I'll
I just
do that.
came off the ball field a little bit ago. I'm a little thirsty. So.
That's right. Your coach comes straight from practice up here. So
That's right.
Diet Coke, regular Coke.
Regular Coke, Pepsi. They have Pepsi products. So.
Okay.
But Coach, you got a big ball game tomorrow afternoon. You're gonna go up to Wilcox. I think Wilcox is 5-0 in the region. You're 3-0 in the region. So
right, they're right there with us, and they're going to be strong, just like they were last year. They got a good quality pitcher, and they've got some kids that can swing the bat. Wilcox, going to Wilcox has always been a tough place to play for anybody, and certainly it's a tough place for us. But, we've been preparing for it for a good while, really prepared for it last week, did a lot of work today, both infield and outfield, some situational type stuff, and really ironing out some little kinks. So I think, we're ready to go, of course, but – you got to lace it up and see what happens when you get over there. So, but yeah, it'll be really kind of be a swing game. I think whoever takes it really will put themselves in good position in the region. I think that's critical. They're big. One of their big wins in the region. They've already beaten Telfair,
right?
Just like we have. And then the rest of the other teams in the region, they really. I think they've got Charlton maybe later on in the week or maybe another time. So I think one of theirs got rained out too. So
that's right.
It'll be interesting to see. I know they'll be tough, but we think we're ready to go for it for sure.
Right. I know there's a couple of 3 teams. There's our Lanier County team. There's Wilcox, Telfair, all pretty tight at the top, and then in the middle you got a pretty good little bit group there in the middle with Clinch, and then Charlton still in the mix to be at the top.
Well, yeah, that's Clinch is always a battle. They're well coached. I think Lee Douglas is taking over this year, but Jeremy had a good situation with last year. They're going to play good defense, and with their pitching. So, and being close to us, of course, it's a big rivalry
That's
situation anyway. But yeah, I mean, to me, Charlton County is one of those teams that he played us pretty tough, even though it was a 3-2 ball game, but I felt like we were pretty much in control of situations in that game. But he's going to get up and get somebody. It'll.
His only loss is to our Lanier County team,
right?
And
he, like I said, he's still got Telfair and Wilcox to play.
That's right.
But Danny's got a good little squad over there, and they're throwing the ball well and they're hitting the ball well, and so. And he's I call him, he's all that riverboat gambler.
That's right.
He's going to run and do some crazy things on you, so if you're not prepared for it, he's liable to catch you for sure.
That's right. Well, talking about Clinch, that's our next opponent on Thursday afternoon. They're going to come here to Lanier County and play us here at home. Remember, back in the summer, I watched us play them here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if they had it sometimes in the summer. You don't have all your players with you, but wasn't it's a pretty close ball game, really.
Yeah, I think they. I think I don't know if we might have. Did we play? We played. I guess we probably did.
Like we did.
I think, or watched them play.
Maybe we just watched them play.
I think. Yeah, I don't.
I think I'm comparing them to a common opponent.
Yeah,
I think we both played Pierce that afternoon, and the score was fairly similar. That's more.
I think
we didn't play each other. We just both played Pierce that day.
Well, and I think that's true. And then but again, Clinch is one of those teams that they're going to be in the fight. I mean, they're going to cause some issues. They'll get up on some people as well, and it's I look at it really in our region with us, and we've talked about it numerous times with girls. We can't really relax. I mean, we're to an extent. Yeah, we weren't the region champs last year, but we didn't finish in the Final Four. So I mean, we're the hunted at this point. So I think that everybody, no matter where they are in the region or who they are. They're going to try to bring their best game to us, and we just have to be prepared for that, and we have to be prepared for whatever storm comes along. We got to weather it a little bit and keep our focus, and that's what I've tried to tell the girls. I really think we need to play a little more at the championship level that we're capable of playing. We just, even though we're 5-1 and had 6 ball games, I still don't believe we played enough games really.
Right. I
don't think we really hit our stride, and we're trying to find that right now. So.
That's right. Well, winning the region is important, and it's a big accomplishment. We've saw in the last few years that winning the region don't really mean as much because it's kind of the luck of the draw when you get your seeding in those power rankings. Eccles finished 4th a couple of times and wound up 4th in the state.
Right, and that's the thing, and we talk about it, and most people don't see it. They think getting to the playoffs is an easy situation, and I guess to an extent with the power rankings you can set yourself up to get there. But once you get there, I would say Sweet 16, but essentially going to the Elite 8, it takes some luck. I mean, you can really draw a pretty tough opponent. Last year Commerce was an extremely tough opponent.
That's right.
And they've got everybody back, so they'll be strong no matter what. But it takes some luck to get there, and then once you get to Columbus, it takes some luck to move on through that. So, I think the region gets you higher seeding, but also, after the first round, you're probably going to find a pretty tough ball team.
Pretty good team because there's only 24 in it.
That's it, and you're liable to get I guess probably a 10, 11, 12, 13 seed, which could be somebody from our own region. It could be somebody from the region with Gordon Lee or whatever, and that region's pretty well stacked. So you're liable to draw a pretty tough opponent even if you're the region winner. So, it's all about placement. But like I said, it doesn't matter. The game of softball, when you're talking about the game of softball, it takes some luck and some bounces and things to go your way to make sure everything kind of gets there.
Right. Well, it's like any sport. It's a game of inches.
That's true. That's true.
Thank goodness those power rankings, we've talked about it on here earlier in the past 2 shows, but those power rankings go away after this year. So
it does.
You can win the region and get you 3 rounds at home.
Well, that and the other thing it allows you to do that, the power rankings don't, is it allows you to go out and really play some top-level opponents and not worry about the win-loss. You can really kind of see where you are. It's for an example, if if we next year want to go out and play Lowndes, we could go schedule a game against Lowndes, and that's not going to hurt us.
That's right.
Or, play a Bacon County or a, Coffee County or, somebody, drive up, north part of the Georgian plate, an
That's
Altoona or somebody like, somebody that's
That's right.
To really kind of see where you are.
That's right.
Right now with the power rankings, you can't do that. You have to be very careful about your scheduling, and of course, we got a huge region anyway, so most of our games come from our region anyway. But your outside opponents, you got to be careful who you're scheduling. Of course, next year that won't be the case, and that's really probably better for the game and better for the region itself right now.
Yeah, you could schedule a team that may only win 10 ball games, but it may be a real good ball team. They just play a tough region.
That's right.
And you end up losing to them, and hurts you in the power rankings.
Well, it does, because you think about it. You lose to a 10-win team, you get a third of their win total, which is only 3 points. So you're getting nothing.
That's right. So
that doesn't help you a whole lot. Whereas but you can go play a 10-win team who's probably in a weaker region, and you can beat them, but then the competition level is probably not what you're used to as well. So it can be a quandary for sure, but it's up. It's just kind of a trick. You just got to know how to work it.
That's
sure.
Right. Power rankings has been a mess ever since they started.
Yeah. I think that there definitely could have been a better way to do it.
That's right,
for sure.
That's right. But good thing is they're going away.
That's right.
But go back to our opponent for tomorrow. That's going to be, like I said, a key ball game for the whole season, really.
Mm-hmm.
What do we know about them? We know they usually have strong pitching. Do they got strong pitching again, or?
They do. They got the returner from last year, Chastity. She's their big pitcher. If she's not pitching, she's playing shortstop. She's got good speed on what she does, tend to work up in the zone pretty well. Throws the ball probably as hard. She's probably upper 50s, I think. We went against her last year. We beat her in extra innings last year there, and we beat her here too. So we've seen her before.
Right.
They've got pretty, I would say, from scouting reports or ideas we know about them. First three, 2, 3, or 4 hitters are pretty good ball players, pretty good swingers of the bat. After that, we'll see.
Right.
But I know that they've always been top heavy in their lineups the last couple of years, and I think there's no change in that really. But Chastity's gonna she can be really dominating, or she can be a little all over the place. You never can tell.
That's
but
right.
I suspect she'll bring the best she's got to us.
That's right.
And always
be disciplined at the plate.
Yep, and that'll be the key. I think, if we can lay off the up ball, because she likes to throw the ball up a good bit, and most players are not real strong about being able to hit the ball in the upper half of the zone.
That's
so
right.
If we can lay off of that and keep her eyes down and really hit the ball down in the zone, she'll give you stuff to hit. We just got to be real disciplined with it.
Right.
And then, we got to play solid defense. I mean,
That's right.
that's one of the – really kind of since I got here, we've been kind of known for playing some pretty good solid defense, and we got to continue that path. And right now, and I still waiting on us to get on a roll with our bats. I mean,
right.
We've seen some flashes of it this summer. We've seen some flashes of it in this year in a couple of innings here and there, but we just haven't consistently put 5, 6 innings together swinging like that that are really kind of separated from everybody else. But
that's right. Well, if we could get one like that Pierce County game this summer now, that would be I don't know if I've ever seen a team, not just a Lanier County team, but any team, swing the bat like we did that afternoon.
Well, that's true. We swung it really well, and I think it got everybody extremely excited watching it. Kind of thinking. And I was like, wait a minute, let's hold off a minute.
Can we do that every day?
Yeah, I mean, and I told the girls that. I said, look, if we can do that, then we'll be fine. But the chances of you doing it every single time are rare. But I will say, when we get our girls and they get real disciplined, we can be pretty strong 1 through 9. We got 9 girls that can hit, and really, if you look at our games we won this year, the bottom half of the lineup's carried us. The top half has really not got going yet, and they will. I mean, your Steffi Gainos and your Elle Watsons and Aniston and Sammy and Ramsey, those girls are going, and Cassidy Newsom, they're going to get rolling. And once they get rolling, the bottom half's done its job, and they're getting their good quality at bats. And so once they get going and rolling, we're going to be tough to handle.
I believe so. That afternoon I'm talking about, that Pierce County summer game, Braylon, I call her coursing in the game because Braylon, I guess.
Yeah, Braylon
Burkhalter is now your 9-hole hitter.
Right.
But in that ball game, she one-hopped the fence twice for doubles.
Yeah.
And so you're talking about from 1 through 9.
Exactly.
The 9-hole hitters one-hopping the fence twice in the ball game, then you're swinging it pretty good.
Well, you are, and you know, the big thing is that, you know, you look at her and you look at Steffi Agano, and you look at, I would say, Reagan, even Reagan Newsom. I mean, you put some girls in some big shoes. I mean, you think about, again, what we lost and what what we had to replace, and so those girls have kind of come in and done a really good job. You know, I initially started Braylon off in the summer,
right,
kind of as the lead off, and I think it was just too much pressure on her early. So, you know, I pulled her down the lineup a little bit because she can be like a double leadoff hitter for us. And down in the 9-hole, the way she's capable of swinging the bats, she could really sneak up on some people and drive some runs home. So she's a little bitty old thing. You don't think she can hit as hard
as she can hit it. Well, you know, a lot of I try to use this term loosely, but a lot of parents, because I'm a parent, and I've also coached. So a lot of times a parent will say, well, why is my kid batting ninth? Well, a lot of coaches look at it as an extra leadoff. And,
yeah, we do. And, you know, the other thing, too, though, is you know, really after about the first inning,
there's no
lineup really doesn't matter at that point.
Flip.
And the best thing you can do when you, as a coach, when you're trying to set up your lineup, is to give a good mix of speed and power all through the lineup. Contact hitters, girls that can handle, you know, if they can handle the bat in certain situations. Braylon is an excellent contact style hitter. She's got some pop in her bat, but she also handles the bat well on a bunt. You know, I believe it might have been the Valdosta game the other day. I caught a bunt with a runner in position, and she laid one right down the first base line perfect, beat it out. And, you know, she's got that ability with the bat, but then if you come in on her, she's liable to hit the ball over the top of your head either. So, I mean, I think when you've got a lineup like that you can mix, and looking at our lineup, we've got good speed at the top. We got some power in the middle. We got some speed and power down at the bottom if we need it. So we're well balanced. Like I said, though, once we get all of them going.
Well, you go back to last year to over in Columbus. You had 7, 8, 9 hitters hitting the ball out of the park. Keep us moving. So.
Exactly, and you know, when you get that, I mean, that goes back to preparation. But you know, everybody getting hot at the right time, and we did. We played our best ball last year right at the end. We really got hot at the right time, and it's going to happen for us this year. I think, you know, last year the Wilcox game was really the turning point for us up Wilcox. We won that extra inning game, and then after that we went on a big roll for a while. And you know, it could be the same trigger for us tomorrow. You never know.
Coach, is there anything else you'd like to talk about? We've been talking without you for a couple of weeks, but is there anything that we haven't covered that you'd like to discuss before we?
I really don't know. I mean, you know, we kind of talked just things. I mean, it's just one of those things where we got a good young group that you know, and you look through the group we got in high school, and you look at the kids we got down in the middle school, and those kids coming up, that the program will be strong for a long period of time. We got some really good kids coming up that are going to really provide some big time for us, and all I would say is, you know, we've got young players that have to step up and be prepared. You know, I would even say to the middle school kids, you know, be prepared. When you hit the 9th grade, you're liable to be on the field and in the mix. I mean, so, you know, you can't shy away from the moment. And that's kind of the big things we've been talking about with the younger girls is, look, don't shy away from the moment. Stick your head in there, get after it. I got confidence in you. And then if you just get to work, everything else kind of take care of itself. But but we do have some good, strong. Now, don't get me wrong, we got some good, strong leadership in Aniston and Elle and Cassie. They've been good, and Sammy coming in and Ramsey. You got some good older girls that have been around for a little bit. And you know, Sammy's a new player to us this year, but you know, she come over, and so she's you know, she can provide some experience and stuff in there with us that helps too. So. You know, I think
some of those girls have got to be thinking, "Whew, we got some help."
Well,
I mean, I can say that. I mean, I don't know if you'd want to say that.
Well, you know, I've heard some of them. You know, and you think about it though. I mean, you know, it does take a little pressure to an extent off of some of the, you know, maybe Aniston, let's say, for an example, who, you know, I suspect just like last year, they're going to walk her a lot, and you know, you got to have some people behind her that can hit and really take that decision away from them, you know, and it could be a Sammy, it could be a Ramsey, it could be a Cash, it could be anybody in that area, but you got to have people behind them as well. And you know, last year we had Jacqueline hitting behind Aniston, and then you had Ramsey, and you had Cash. All of them got hot, and you couldn't just pitch around one to get to the next. And and then the other thing she provides is she can pitch. You know, and you know, when you got the main part, when you got 3 girls that can throw, And then even Jenna Shaw. Jenna Shaw can pitch too. And you know, you got 4 girls that can pitch and can do some things for you and eat some innings. But, you know, when you go to Columbus, you need that.
That's right.
And I think that, you know, last year, even though we made a great run and we had a great team and we were really working hard, we were probably going to run out of gas kind of at the end pitching-wise. We just too many innings and too much time, and I think that was something this year. As we go, if we get there, that's not going to be the case.
That's right. You go 4 deep, and a lot of people can't go one.
Yeah, exactly.
Go past number 1.
Exactly, and we got 4 that can really, you know, throw and help you and do some stuff. And though Jenna doesn't throw as hard as the other 3, but she has good movement, some moves some things around. She can keep some teams off balance. And, you know, and the other thing is she can pitch some games in the year, take some pressure off of everybody else. So
that's right. Chew up some innings and
exactly. We got some flexibility for sure.
That's right.
But I'm excited about it. I'm excited about where we're going, what we're doing. Excited about the future. I mean, you know, I'm in it for the long haul, so I'm excited about where we're going. But like I said, you know, this group's been working hard all summer. We really haven't taken a whole lot off. They've been really working and going. So, and from talking to dugout, they're ready to go.
Ready to go.
They're hoping it doesn't rain. They're ready to lace it up tomorrow and get after it.
That's right. That's right. Well, I think, and I'm proud that we've come to a point where you hear this, and we've heard this in other communities and other sports, and people say so and so they don't rebuild, they reload, and
right.
And right now I think we're reloading.
I think we are, and I think, you know, that's a good place to be. And, you know, I mean, you know, kind of 4 years ago when I came over, I kind of looked at the situation. That was kind of the thought I got from everybody that I talked to. Was like, this is a good situation with some great talent coming that can be good for a long period of time. And I understand that, certainly, and we really can be.
That's right.
That's
we
sure.
kid around sometimes and say that there's going to come a point where we could enter 2 teams and finish 1 and 2 in the region.
Well, yeah,
and we really believe that.
Yeah, well, and you know, there's some truth to that, really. Yeah. I mean, you know, you think about the number of kids coming up, and you got, I mean, that group of 6th graders, there's 14, 15 of those kids, 16 of those kids. I mean, there's, you know, all of them that can play and will be able to contribute. Now, it's like anybody else when they get going. You get to the high school, there's 9 spots.
That's right. So
not everybody's going to be able to find a way. So, you know, you got to make sure you're ready to go. But
that's right. But when you're too deep, if somebody goes down, you keep rolling. So.
Right, and I think, you know, that's luxury of kind of where we are right now. We got some kids that can play multiple positions and move around multiple places. And, you know, you think about it, Steffi Gano's playing short some, and she came up being a catcher all the time. So,
that's right.
I mean, you know, and Braylon Burkhalter has kind of been an infielder most of her times pitching, and now she stepped to the outfield. So each of these kids have kind of made some sacrifices to do whatever the team needs, and that's huge. I mean, you can't ask for more than that from a kid willing to give you everything they have to make sure everything works out.
That's right. Well, Coach, appreciate you coming on, and good luck tomorrow night. And we'll be up there on the network and letting everybody else. I mean, we'll try to keep it going, let everybody know what's happening.
Well, hopefully, as long as it don't rain.
Well, hopefully it won't rain, and hey, hopefully it should be. It will be. I will say it'll be a good ball game. That's for sure.
So many of you can make it up to the game. I know the coach and the girls would all appreciate as many people being there as can. But those of you who can't, tune in a little bit before 6 tomorrow afternoon. Game starts at 6.
Game starts at 6. Yep.
Game's at 6. Tune in a little bit before 6. We'll come on the air and. We'll bring you as long as we play. We'll be there.
Yep, that'll be it.
And we'll keep updated on the Facebook page in case it gets canceled or something like that.
And I hope to know that somewhere. I hope to make that call somewhere late morning. You know, sometime before lunch. We're planning to leave at 1, so we'll have to know before that time frame and situation there. So we'll have an answer before lunch, I'm sure.
All right.
Well,
thank you, Coach. Appreciate you coming on.
Appreciate you coming. Appreciate you having me.
Yes, sir. We'll see you again next week.
Yep, that'll be fun.
Talk about a big win over Wilcox.
I hope it'll be 2 big wins. That's
2
right.
big wins. Wilcox.
Exactly. That's right.
All right.
Okay.
We're going to go to commercial, and we'll come back live with head football coach Kurt Williams.
Farmers and Merchants Bank has been helping people with their financial needs for over 100 years. And FMB is right here in Lakeland, Georgia to serve you. Whether you need personal banking with checking and savings accounts, money market and IRAs, or business banking with checking, cash management, and loans, FMB is also your lending solution for both personal and business. Whatever your banking needs, Farmers and Merchants Bank remains committed to be the best of the best. North Carter Street in Lakeland. Go Dogs! Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Huddle House in Lakeland, Georgia is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With a clean and friendly atmosphere, you'll always get the service you're looking for. They have a variety of menu items for you to choose from, whether it's an omelet or a hamburger, and you can even order takeout, whether you sit at the bar or at a table. The staff at Huddle House is always looking out for you. Huddle House in Lakeland, open 24/7, 251 West Main Street. That's 251 West Main Street. Stop on by and eat something.
Oh, there's a good drive. There's a good drive. Is it going to drop? It's down. It's down in the sphere.
Farmers and Merchants Bank has been helping people with their financial needs for over 100 years. And FMB is right here in Lakeland, Georgia to serve you. Whether you need personal banking with checking and savings accounts, money market and IRAs, or business banking with checking, cash management, and loans, FMB is also your lending solution for both personal and business. Whatever your banking needs, Farmers and Merchants Bank remains committed to be the best of the best. North Carter Street in Lakeland. Go Dogs! Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Huddle House in Lakeland, Georgia is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With a clean and friendly atmosphere, you'll always get the service you're looking for. They have a variety of menu items for you to choose from, whether it's an omelet or a hamburger, and you can even order takeout, whether you sit at the bar or at a table. The staff at Huddle House is always looking out for you. Huddle House in Lakeland, open 24/7, 251 West Main Street. That's 251 West Main Street. Stop on by and eat something.
Oh, there's a good drive. There's a good drive. Is it going to drop? It's down. It's down in the sphere.
All right, we're back here live on the LC Coaches Show on the Lanier County Network. Joining us now, Coach Kurt Williams, head football coach of our Lanier County Bulldogs. Coach, so you feeling a little sinus problems this afternoon?
I'm a little under the weather tonight, so please forgive me if I sound really nasally. Hadn't slept the greatest, so we're here.
We're here.
We're here. We're here.
Got practice done, beat the rain, and
got work in.
It's a Monday.
Yeah, just a Monday. Had to grind through it. Wasn't the best practice. Wasn't the worst practice in the world. Got the first look at Montgomery, and that's always Mondays are always kind of a struggle.
That's right.
It's kind of sluggish. You kind of still sore and that kind of stuff, but
that's right.
Got to work through it.
That's right. Coming off of a game week. I know we come off of a game week the week before, but it was a scrimmage game. This was
it was a home game too.
Yeah, and it's a long road trip and kind of an intense ball game.
Yeah, and it kind of gives you an appreciation for the guys that make these deep playoff runs playing on the road the whole time.
That's right.
And because you get back at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning and feel like you lose your whole Saturday.
Yeah.
Because then you just feel behind, So
that's right. Well,
kind of playing catch up from the long road trip Friday night.
I think I picked Noah up from the field house at 1 a.m. and at 6:30 a.m. I was dropping my little girl off at the school for softball. So
there you go.
Well, I don't feel like I even went home.
Yeah.
But I understand. Coach, good ball game. I thought we come up a little bit short, but I thought we played a very good ball game down in Union County.
Yeah. I think it was clear that we were the better team on the field Friday night. We just made too many mistakes in critical moments that shot ourselves in the foot, and they didn't make any mistakes. We didn't get one bounce, one break, one call.
That's right.
And
they even tried to call me.
Yeah, they tried to throw Keith out of the game.
Tried to throw me out of the game.
I should have got some video of that so we could play it tonight. That was funny.
It was, they're getting on my coach. He's got to go. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's not even on. Like,
I guess because I had a headset on.
Yeah, the headset kind of threw him off, and I was like, do you want to get on my headset? He's like, we're live streaming the game. He's like the sideline reporter. And
yeah, he came over and told me. Well, to start with, in the first part of the ball game, I was like I always have been through the years. I got right behind the. I'm a good 3 to 5 yards, probably 5 yards. I try to stay whatever the coach's box is, no matter where we're at on the field.
2 yards. You got to be 2 yards off the side.
So I'm at least that far behind him, and on their second touchdown, the kid running the ball, he come around the left side, our side of the field. He landed on the half-yard line and bounced into the end zone. Side judge on our side run in, going to signal that he was down on the half-yard line. And of course, I'm down there where I can see all of that, but I'm not saying a word to him. I'm talking in the microphone, telling everybody back at home that I thought that he was down on the 1 yard line, and so did the official on our side. But the official that was on the far side of the field, who certainly didn't have the view that I had or the official on our side of the field had, immediately signaled touchdown. And as soon as he signaled touchdown, that official signaled touchdown. He changed his mind, and
it's not very clear on the film either.
Agreed with him. So
yeah,
I'm talking in the mic.
They overruled him all night, and hats off to that guy. I ripped him up and down a new one a couple times, and to his credit, he took it all night and never.
But I was probably pretty adamant about the touchdown not being a touchdown, and he probably heard me, and he turns and tells me, "Hey, you got to get back in the coach's box." And I said, "Wait a minute, sir. I'm not a coach. I'm on live stream video covering the game." And he said, "Okay, well, you just stand on the and he was courteous about it. He said, "Okay, that's fine then. You just stand on the track." So I was standing on the track late in the ball game when we was about to score, and he come running over and said, "Hey, you got to be on the track." And I said, "Look, I'm on the track."
Yeah.
and I guess the white hat must have spotted me down there, so I don't know. But
yeah.
Anyway, I apologize for that, but I done what the gentleman asked me to do. I was standing on the track. So.
Yeah. I don't. I don't know. Like even that call that you're talking about, it's not really clear on film, or it didn't jump out in my mind watching it. And that was the view from the other side, the view we got on camera, and
on our side, he clearly landed on the half-yard line and bounced in.
Well.
And that official was going to make that call, but when his counterpart on the far side signaled touchdown, he immediately signaled touchdown also. But he was running in to spot the ball on the half-yard line. Not saying they wouldn't have eventually scored anyway. That would have made it second goal, I think.
Yeah, the 3rd and 14, I had a little bust, and I'm not sure what the defense call was, but it was, our defensive end and my linebacker got reached, and we didn't set the edge. The one play we didn't set the edge on all night long, they went from 3rd and 14 to a 4th and 1.
Yeah.
And probably one of their biggest plays of the night. And, that was right after the kickoff return, and that little 4 or 5 plays in that second quarter changed the whole game.
That's right. Well, we outgained them 209 total yards to 116 total yards. Probably one of the best, one of the most complete defensive performances I've saw in quite a while. I would say probably going back to the Groves game 2 years ago. Probably was the last time we played that complete of a defensive game. Offensively, we moved the ball, just had trouble getting it into the end zone.
Didn't cash in, we would have, and, I've said this all year long, like we don't have like just that 4.4 speed guy that can just, boom, 60 yards to the house, can make 3 or 4 guys miss. We got some good players, but we got to string together drives and put consistency. Consistency is the big thing we got to do on offense. And had some Kish Wright balled out. He's our offensive player of the game. Got him going in the screen game, and they kind of wanted to play way off on third down, so we
he made some
dumped it out in the flats. And he made a guy miss and was riding out, and I think he finished 6 yards, but I believe he would have had over 100 had it not been for penalties.
Yeah. He had one.
I know he had a long one got called back, and so that kind of stuff was unfortunate, and
way away from the play too. Had a offensive lineman called for holding or chop block.
Chop block.
And
it was just I'm like, why, guys? Why are we even cutting on a screen?
Yeah.
Like if anything, you want them to come through on the screen.
That's right.
And you want to slow them up, of course, but
give your guy just enough time to get rid of the ball.
There you go. You want them to invite them upfield and linemen get downfield, and thought we did some good things with the screen game. I thought, we showed some glimpses on offense where we can get rolling.
That's right.
And but for whatever reason, we'd get in a 2nd 5 or 2nd 6, and we'd have a route bust or we'd have a block bust up front. Somebody would miss a stunt, or it was one thing after another, and then all of a sudden we go from 2nd 5 to 3rd and 13 because we got a sack.
Right.
So I know one time we had an RPO, and Rashad pulls the ball and is looking to the receiver to throw the screen, and the receiver's running straight downfield. So and it's like, claims didn't get called from sideline. I'm like, you're standing right here on our sideline.
That's right.
And we're growing. We're growing. Right. I just hate that we're having to lose to grow somewhat, and for us, most of our kids, that Friday night was their first really competitive ball game for 48 minutes.
That's right.
It
was a loss that you felt good about.
Yeah.
And you had to feel good about a loss.
Yeah. We had a couple competitive games last year where we were in it late, but it never felt like Friday night. Friday night we felt like we were the best team. We just couldn't get over the hump.
That's right.
And
we thought there when we scored there late in the first half.
When we went 7-7, I'm like, oh, we about to get rolling.
I thought we was just we even talked about it on the air. I told Ryan Tootin, I said, Ryan, we fixing to win the ball game. I said they can't move the ball offensively.
Right.
And then they brought in a different quarterback, and we kind of kidded around and called him California.
Yeah.
Or Sunshine.
He's a
and
freshman.
Man, he was pretty good. And then they wouldn't keep him in the ball game, and I said, well, that's good. As long as he stays on the sideline.
I thought he was the best.
He was the better of the two, in my opinion, but don't know if they really wanted to throw the ball a lot.
He's a 9th grader, and they're probably, trying to baby him along, not trying to get him in there before he's not ready. And they got a senior, so it's just tough when you got 2 quarterbacks.
That's right. Quarterback was kind of small. We kind of likened him to Doug Flutie.
Well, yeah. They were well coached and they were scrappy, like we thought.
Big back.
They were probably more. I think they were more athletic than I thought they were watching on film.
Right.
But that's probably because they played. The film we got, they played a really athletic team.
Right.
Probably somebody like Turner. Just to give you an idea of who they'd win against, and it's just, man, it sucks.
That's right.
It sucks Friday night, and our kids was hurting, because they played 48 minutes hard, just like we asked them to do, played every play, and left it all out there on the field to come up short. It hurts.
That's right.
And just told them this is what playing in competitive football games feels like, because you can really count on one hand how many games they've really played competitively for a few years now. Not just last year, before I got here.
Yeah.
And we're growing. Like I said, we're growing. We just got to get better. Got to get better. Special teams efforts really has been a big focus. Like, we have been practicing it, but the special teams blunders are costing us.
Yeah. Well, we had
Cost us in the Cook game. It's cost us this week.
we started out with a block punt, pinned our defense back on their own 15-yard line, and they held them. And that was a big momentum shift. We took the ball on the 16-yard line, marched 84 yards.
We did drive it down. I
marched
thought we
84 yards after that and scored on a 6-yard run from Jeremiah Smalls. And then we kicked to them, and they run it back, and that just kind of that's to knock the wind out of you a little bit. But
well, that's the growing part. Like, we've preached all year about kickoff being very important. Like, when you kick off the ball, two things have either happened. It's the beginning of a half or you just scored. And you got all the momentum. So the biggest thing you got to do is fly down there, tackle them, and keep the momentum on your side, and then all of a sudden stuff gets rolling. And we just gave them, we got the momentum for
split 10 seconds. If we don't get the return, then we don't.
Hey, baby.
Then we don't even have to receive the next kick till after the half, and then the turnover on the kickoff on their ensuing kickoff after their kickoff return, they scored immediately after that also.
Yeah.
So that's
they hit us
twice in a
kickoff
row there,
return,
and then
popped it up, and then we don't have that's the kind of stuff that's frustrating is we worked pooch kicks all week because I knew they were going to pooch it.
Well, we covered it well the first time on the open.
Well, nobody fair catches it. It was a very good sky pooch kick that goes to the front line. I mean, I don't know many kickers that can do it.
Right.
And nobody weighs fair catch, and we get hit just as the ball. I mean, I don't think the ball even got there before he got hit.
You weigh fair catch and you get a penalty, and you're probably in plus territory.
There you
start a drive, and then they don't score, and then they don't get the opportunity to score the next one. But
and we probably go up 14-13, and we still got the ball. We get some momentum. We get down on the 35-yard line with 30 seconds left. We throw the ball over there in the corner, and the guy catches it out of bounds, and they give it to him.
Then we get I thought was
I don't want to get on here and bash the
call.
Yeah,
but I know you don't want to bash the officials, but then
but
at the same time, it seemed like everything went against you.
It did, and you kind of know that going in on the road. Like you go to certain places, and you're like, well, we got to be really good tonight to win.
That's right.
And
but if you look at the penalties overall, I mean, you talked about it earlier today. They wasn't that far apart, not really. They were the same amount of penalties. We had a few more yards than they did.
They were just at critical moments
in the ball game.
Like, we don't have it on tape, but they call a late hit on Amari.
That's what I was talking about.
And it's like going to be 4th and 3 from midfield. There's an umpire in a white hat standing right next to the pile, and the back judge throws it from 30 yards away. And that's the stuff that's just like, are you kidding me?
That's right.
My blood pressure's getting up just thinking about it right now. And, and boom, first down, and they're winding down the clock, and your chances start going slim. And, even right there at the end, we drove all the way down and showed some life and made some plays and got 3rd and goal on the 5, and we get 2 sacks in a row.
Yeah.
And kind of unfortunate, but that's kind of where we got to grow. We got to realize, we got to teach Rashad to get rid of the ball and not hold on to it.
That's right.
In those situations, there is a time to hold the ball, not take intentional granted, and all that stuff, and that stuff he's got to grow and learn from.
Well, I viewed those, and here again, I'm not a football coach, but I viewed a lot of those sacks Friday night as coverage sacks. He had a lot of time to throw the ball. Just they had our receivers covered up, or maybe our guy didn't run the right route. Or
it was a combination.
Could have been a combination of
it's a combination of everything, and Rashad's always going to get a lot of blame, and the O-line's always going to get a lot of blame, but it's not always.
That's right. Well,
whose fault you think it is, because not everybody knows what the play call is. And
of course, I really have a lot of respect for Rashad. I kind of feel like he's family, but I told somebody, I said, he's running for his life for 2 years, and he had a little bit of time to throw Friday night, and maybe he just wasn't really sure what to do when he had that much time.
Yeah,
and
I
nobody
mean,
was to throw it to. So
yeah, the protection was a lot better Friday night. Now we had some busts, obviously a few busts, and that's stuff. That's the stuff that was killing drives. Like we would move the ball, and then all of a sudden they would bring a linebacker, and we would just flat out miss him. And that, 1st and 10, and he hit the back in the backfield, and now it's 2nd and 12. And it changes your whole play calling thought process.
that's right. But Coach, all in all, we lost the ball game, but I felt real good about it. Even though I hate to say you feel good about a loss any time, but I feel good about coming into this week after the way we played last week.
Yeah, I think as a defensive guy, I'm really excited about how much we've grown on defense. And last year, all the block kick, the kickoff return, all that stuff added up. It'd been 35-0 at the half last year.
That's right.
And that's what I was preaching to the guys. Like we've played terrible in the first half on special teams, and we're in the ball game, guys. Like it's,
I think over the past couple of years, we've averaged giving up 35 to 40 points a game on average. Past 2 years, 19 points is half of that.
Well,
so and 6 of those came on special teams. So
yeah, and the running back was about 205 now. He was not small.
Heavy.
He was not a small guy, and so for us to be able to tackle him, and because we're going to see big backs down the road, we're going to see better backs, we're going to see better offenses. So I mean, it's coming where we're going to get really tested.
That's right.
And but the simple fact that we're flying to the football, people are doing their responsibility. We're setting the edge. I mean, we're setting the edge. Corey Williams done a great job at Sam.
Yeah.
And Takirion Powell was another guy at defensive end who we struggled at Sam and end last year.
Mm-hmm.
And
but Corey Williams is a kid that I saw grow up through the Parks and Recreation, and
he's going to be a good one.
Back in those days, 7-8 football, 9-10 football. I guess that's Pee Wee and midget. Corey Williams was our, and I just lost his name, but he was played number 10, played linebacker for Georgia. Now he plays for the Carolina Panthers.
Thomas Davis.
He was our Thomas Davis. He was a headhunter. He went and got you. He didn't mind. Kids wouldn't run the ball. They would say, hey, the other opposing teams, they didn't want to run the ball if they saw Corey back there at linebacker. So.
Yeah, no, he's done a great job. And Roy Johnson, who was here in middle school, just moved back in the summer. He was our defensive player of the week.
Right.
Had 18 tackles.
18 tackles.
Him and Josiah had 8. He had 18. Josiah had 12.
Right.
So getting production out of our Mike and Will spot was huge the other night. And then our defensive line is playing on the other side of the football right now.
That's
like
right.
when you watch the tape, the line of scrimmage is moving backwards. And when that happens, it gets a whole lot easier.
There's a lot of negative plays, a lot of sacks. We had to have 4 or 5 sacks. We had a lot of negative plays.
We had more sacks. We've had more sacks in this game or the Cook game than we had all last year.
Right.
And tackles for loss. I would bet on it.
Yeah.
And it's just like on offense. Like when you get tackles for loss on defense, you go 1st and 10 to 2nd and 12. Now you can be the aggressor.
Mm-hmm.
You can make the offense play to you. Crap, are they pressuring or what? So I mean, we're playing really well on defense, and like I said, we had glimpses on offense where we showed promise, and we just, got a penalty. I mean, all that stuff adds up to killing drives and.
That's right.
Negative plays.
That's right.
Negative plays. That's kind of the story, and because I think when you look at it on offense and defense, it's probably a 7-7 ball game.
Mm-hmm.
And special teams is really where we got our tail kicked.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I know you're going to work on all that this week. I know y'all are. Y'all work hard. Y'all get the guys ready. Going to move on to Montgomery County, play them this week at home.
Yeah.
If you want to say anything else you'd like to talk about on this week's game, and then we'll take a break and come back and talk about Montgomery County.
Yeah. I mean, just really, really proud of the way the kids have really worked. this summer and the first few weeks. I mean, I've grinded them now. I've grinded them. You know, and really excited about the home opener this week. So we'll see how we prepare this week. Really challenge them. You know, are we going to dwell on last week's loss, or are we going to move on, or what are you doing today to be a better Lanier County Bulldog? What are you going to do tomorrow? You know, what are you focusing on today? That's kind of the message we're preaching, and you know,
All right.
learn from last week and move on.
That's right. All right, Coach. Well, let's take a few minutes break and thank our sponsors, then we'll come back and talk about Montgomery County.
All right.
Game.
Farmers and Merchants Bank has been helping people with their financial needs for over 100 years. And FMB is right here in Lakeland, Georgia to serve you. Whether you need personal banking with checking and savings accounts, money market and IRAs, or business banking with checking, cash management, and loans, FMB is also your lending solution for both personal and business. Whatever your banking needs, Farmers and Merchants Bank remains committed to be the best of the best. North Carter Street in Lakeland. Go Dogs! Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Huddle House in Lakeland, Georgia is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With a clean and friendly atmosphere, you'll always get the service you're looking for. They have a variety of menu items for you to choose from, whether it's an omelet or a hamburger. And you can even order takeout, whether you sit at the bar or at a table. The staff at Huddle House is always looking out for you. Huddle House in Lakeland, open 24/7, 251 West Main Street. That's 251 West Main Street. Stop on by and eat something.
Oh, and there's a good drive. There's a good drive. Is it going to drop? It's down. It's down in the sphere.
Farmers and Merchants Bank has been helping people with their financial needs for over 100 years. And FMB is right here in Lakeland, Georgia to serve you. Whether you need personal banking with checking and savings accounts, money market and IRAs, or business banking with checking, cash management, and loans, FMB is also your lending solution for both personal and business. Whatever your banking needs, Farmers and Merchants Bank remains committed to be the best of the best. North Carter Street in Lakeland. Go Dogs! Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Huddle House in Lakeland, Georgia is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With a clean and friendly atmosphere, you'll always get the service you're looking for. They have a variety of menu items for you to choose from, whether it's an omelet or a hamburger. And you can even order takeout, whether you sit at the bar or at a table. The staff at Huddle House is always looking out for you. Huddle House in Lakeland, open 24/7, 251 West Main Street. That's 251 West Main Street. Stop on by and eat something.
Oh, and there's a good drive. There's a good drive. Is it going to drop? It's down. It's down in the sphere.
Farmers and Merchants Bank has been helping people with their financial needs for over 100 years. And FMB is right here in Lakeland, Georgia to serve you. Whether you need personal banking with checking and savings accounts, money market and IRAs, or business banking with checking, cash management, and loans, FMB is also your lending solution for both personal and business. Whatever your banking needs, Farmers and Merchants Bank remains committed to be the best of the best. North Carter Street in Lakeland. Go Dogs! Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Huddle House in Lakeland, Georgia is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With a clean and friendly atmosphere, you'll always get the service you're looking for. They have a variety of menu items for you to choose from, whether it's an omelet or a hamburger. And you can even order takeout, whether you sit at the bar or at a table. The staff at Huddle House is always looking out for you. Huddle House in Lakeland, open 24/7, 251 West Main Street. That's 251 West Main Street. Stop on by and eat something.
Oh, there's a good drive. There's a good drive. Is it going to drop? It's down. It's down in the sphere.
Farmers and Merchants Bank has been helping people with their financial needs for over 100 years. And FMB is right here in Lakeland, Georgia to serve you. Whether you need personal banking with checking and savings accounts, money market and IRAs, or business banking with checking, cash management, and loans, FMB is also your lending solution for both personal and business. Whatever your banking needs, Farmers and Merchants Bank remains committed to be the best of the best. North Carter Street in Lakeland. Go Dogs! Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Huddle House in Lakeland, Georgia is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With a clean and friendly atmosphere, you'll always get the service you're looking for. They have a variety of menu items for you to choose from, whether it's an omelet or a hamburger. And you can even order takeout, whether you sit at the bar or at a table. The staff at Huddle House is always looking out for you. Huddle House in Lakeland, open 24/7, 251 West Main Street. That's 251 West Main Street. Stop on by and eat something.
Oh, there's a good drive. There's a good drive. Is it going to drop? It's down. It's down in the sphere.
All right, we're back here live on the LC Coaches Show here on the Lanier County Network. We're live again tonight from the Lakeland Huddle House. I want to thank Mr. Jimmy Brown for allowing us to do these coaches shows here. This is our third one, and Jeremy he's partaking in the food. He's eating fries faster than we can talk. So.
Yes, sir.
But Coach, we're moving into week 2. Gonna host Montgomery County. I guess it seems like week 20 probably for you by now. You've had a full summer, and it's game week number 2, I guess. That's like official games.
Rocky Hidalgo, the head coach at Glenn, put a tweet out last night. There's over 200 days of preseason and summer and all that stuff invested, and then the season shows up, and it just seems like it flies by.
That's right.
And, it seems just like yesterday we were starting in January.
That's right.
And here we are, and it's going.
Yeah.
And really excited about this week. The home opener, and we've always, since I've been here, we've had really good turnouts for home games.
That's right.
I think maybe the worst one last year was the Telfair game, and that was softball teams in Columbus. So
yeah, that's the first game I missed. And I think I dated it back 16 years.
Yeah, well, for good reason.
Yeah,
but Lady Dogs up there,
in the lead
playing for a state championship. So,
but like I say, Montgomery County coming to town. They're coming off of a 34-7 loss over in Pearson to Atkinson County Friday night. I think I heard that Pearson were Atkinson County.
Yeah.
was leading 34-0 at the half. I don't know what happened in the second half, but that's not a high enough score for a running clock. But
No, well, it kind of like us. It kind of first 15 plays of the game, it was 21-0.
Right.
They kicked off to them, and Atco returns the kick. I believe they kick it off as the 3 and out. The first play from offense, they hit a 62-yard touchdown. They kick it back off to Montgomery. They fumble, and then like 2 plays later, they score. So,
gotcha.
Ball game's over. I mean, it's.
Yeah. I know Dwayne Culpepper. A lot of folks know
Yeah.
him. He texted me while we were down in Union County and said Atco's up 21-0, 4 minutes 15 seconds into the game.
Yep.
I said, good grief.
Yep.
I mean,
I'll tell you, Atco look good now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I think Montgomery's going to be. It's going to be a good game Friday. It's going to be a lot like last week. It's going to be a slugfest. It's going to come down to the fourth quarter again. It's going to come down to the little things like we preached all week. Will we receive that message and work on it this week and fix the special teams issues and it's going to be a good game.
Gonna be a good one. Montgomery lost. I don't know the kid's name, but number 6, he graduated. That's a blessing.
Yes, I would say. I believe his last name is Jackson. I won't say Daquan Jackson's his name. Forgive me in Montgomery County if
I think this young lady's got you some food, so we'll let her. Or she's
We'll
gonna put it over there, and it's gonna get
We
cold.
don't want
on
to
you.
ruin the set. But anyway, one of the fastest young men I've ever coached against.
Man, he could fly.
I mean, he could roll.
If he got the edge, he was gone. I don't think there's anybody around to catch him.
Yeah, we watched that tape Sunday in a meeting, and man, it was you almost want to throw up. That's how bad or how much we've grown in a year.
That's right.
Especially on defense, we couldn't set the edge. We were missing tackles, and if he ever got the corner,
Yeah.
good night.
Night.
I think he had like 400 total yards, and they scored 38, and he scored 35 of them.
Yeah, he did.
Now they still got athletes now. They got a quarterback coming back that was a freshman quarterback. He's a sophomore now. They got a athlete number 3 he was probably about Josh Sherman size last year, maybe a little bit bigger than Josh, and it looks like he's grown a little bit. He's put on a lot of weight and had a good off season. And I think Coach Detter saw him at track, and he's probably one of their best athletes. And they got some of those DBs back that really they had a big game in the secondary last year. They had a few picks and got a lot of their linemen back, I believe. It's going to be a good ball game. They're scrappy on D. They run to the football. They play hard. They got a new coach, Coach Suttles, Tim Suttles. I believe he was the defense coordinator last year, but he's a Montgomery County boy.
Right.
And he's also the track coach, and they just won the state track championship. So that tells you what kind of job he does. He's organized and loves those kids up. So we're expecting nothing less of a dogfight Friday night at the Rock.
They knocked us off over here in our basketball gym a couple of years ago, and we still owe them for that. And something we got. And they wouldn't play us in basketball in a scrimmage, so we still owe them a little bit. But our guys need
I was
any
I
kind
was
of
here for
motivation.
that. I
That's
just
got to
got
be it.
hired,
That's
and man, that was a tough loss. They had a little point guard that could absolutely go.
Yeah.
And for a little old town, they got some athletes.
That's right.
I think they only have like 250 kids in the school, and the kids they put on the football field are athletic.
Yeah, they are. They got good athletes in all their sports.
Yeah.
Like I say, but number 6 is gone. But they got a lot more coming back. You've watched film on them. How do they look defensively? Do they look like
scrappy, man? Scrappy. They run to the ball and 3 plays like an outside linebacker, and then they play multiple fronts, and they're long and athletic in the secondary. Got a couple big linemen. They look. I'm trying to think who to compare them to, but.
Everybody in our region's so good, it's hard to compare them to somebody in our region.
Yeah,
it's hard to compare anybody.
Gosh, I mean,
top to bottom.
Atco made them look so small, but I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's how big Atco is.
Yeah, well, we saw Atco in the spring, and they were huge. And they've grown since then. So.
That was big. I mean, Atco's big now. They're big. They got some big skill guys. They got big linemen. They got big running backs. The quarterback's he's 6'3" and can run, and.
Good all-around
They got a
athlete.
good. Here in a couple of weeks, it's going to get interesting when we get in region play and to see how the region shakes out. I think it's going to be a lot more parity this year.
Yeah.
I think the top of the region is obviously going to be very similar, but I think the middle of the region is going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
And I think it always is, but I think it's going to be, so-and-so beats them
one
week.
Off
yeah, and you get banged up, and maybe somebody's out. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on when you play in a good region like this.
That's right.
So, that was one good thing from last week is we got through it injury-free.
That was going to be my next question. How did we come out injury-wise?
Didn't lose anybody else. Waiting on the insurance to approve Shamar's MRI, but he's doing a great job of just rehabbing and doing exercises, moving around a little bit better, but he's probably still a couple more weeks away, and that's really going to help us get us some depth up front. He does so many different things on special teams and all that kind of stuff where, he was a starter on punt team. He was a starter on kickoff. He was a starter on He was a starter on every special teams unit.
Right.
And so when you lose somebody like that, it really you don't realize how much adjusting you really have to do. And
well, you lost 4 starters.
Yeah.
Lose one kid and lost 4 starters.
he was starting defensive tackle and guard for the Cook game, and because Aeneas was out. Aeneas came in last week and did a good job at nose, and obviously he's still got to play and get in shape a little bit better. But rotating him and Isaiah at nose was good for us, and Kelvin Gaines has really come on.
Yeah. Kelvin, I know, was up here with us last week. Was one of the players of the week, and said he really didn't even know he was going to be playing defense, and ended up one of the players of the week because of his defensive effort.
Yeah. No,
and I watched him. That kind of put a bug in my ear to watch him this past week, and I'm like, well, Kelvin's in the backfield on every play.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's, it kind of helps number 7 standing next to him too. So people are, I think people are I wouldn't say over game planning, but yeah, it opens it up sometimes because they're so worried about Mari coming off the edge, or, that's what's great about what we do on defense is that, if you do your job, somebody's going to come free and you got to make that play.
That's right. So kickoff Friday night going to be at 7:30.
7:30.
Hope we have a big crowd out at Rockmore Field. Coach, I may have put the monkey on your back, but kind of halftime Friday night, I said, look, I think next week it's going to be I thought then would be our second win, but I said that's going to definitely be our first win. And I got that much confidence. No pressure on you. But I do. I feel like we got a good opportunity to win this week, and I want people to not say, why go out to the ball game? They're not going to win it. But come on out. If you support these guys, eventually we're going to win, and we're going to start winning, and we're going to win a lot.
Well, I'll tell you, this, losing Friday sucked. It really did.
Yeah.
Because I thought we were the better team, and it really sucks when you think you're the better team and you lose. But I had teachers stop me today and talked about how they'd watch the game online, and it was like, Kurt, we look 10 times better.
Yeah.
And for a teacher to say that and to see that, it uplifts your spirits.
It does.
And but still, man, it's about getting that W sometimes, and it –
well,
it's just going to get tougher down the road when we get in region.
At some point, you win that first one though, and then guys kind of gets a little bit of confidence and maybe learn.
Yeah.
You got to learn how to win before you can win.
You got to learn how to win, and you know, that's been my biggest fear all summer long is just the way we've competed in summer. We've been this close, and we can't finish. And that was my message the other night at halftime was, let's go finish the ball game. We got the momentum. We're starting to move the ball. They can't move the ball on us on defense. So let's go finish. Let's go finish. Let's not make it about not finishing again. But, you know, sometimes, you know, when you haven't been in the situation that these kids have been in, like they were in Friday night, like we try to simulate it at practice. We do 2-minute drill every Wednesday night, or every Wednesday to end practice, our first doe against best of the rest on D. And just for situations like that. And we simulate it the best we can, but there's nothing like Friday night with it on the line. The clock's going, you can see it, and bands playing. And
that's right.
And because it was loud down there on the field. Both bands were playing, and it was a good little atmosphere. And really, I thought a first-class program in Union County hosting us.
Yeah, well, it really was. They done a really good job of.
It's always kind of neat to go to different parts. You know, as a football coach, you've been around. You kind of mark it off like, well, I've been there and I've been there and I've played there and I've coached there and so it was a really good small school atmosphere and
so you go in there and they got what we would consider a jumbotron. They could play replays if they wanted to down there on that thing, and you don't see that in any of the ballparks we go in.
Yeah, and that was the difference in the game is they got a traditional program. Coach Nobles has been down there. Coach Robbie Pruitt. You start naming these guys that's won a lot up here in Georgia. That's won down there, and those kids know how to win. And they didn't beat themselves and did what they were coached to do. And unfortunately, we didn't. We made too many mistakes.
That's right.
And
just tradition.
So yeah, but I mean, you know, you like going to play at places like that because you know eventually we're going to get over the hump, and once we get over the hump, we should get some momentum, and it, you know.
That's right.
Be like, it's contagious. It's kind of like defense. Once one guy starts hitting, oh, that's kind of fun, and then the next guy starts hitting, and then you go from 2 to 4 guys, and then all of a sudden you got a defense full of headhunters. And well,
I think that momentum starts this week with Montgomery County here in Lakeland. I believe we get off we put one in the win column. And have even our record at 1-1. I know you want to think that way, but coaching wise, you got to prepare for the.
We play to win every game. Even last year when we were 0-6 and staring down the last 3 games, playing the three of the 4 games were top 10 in the state,
right,
including number 1 and number 2, and we prepared every game like we were in it, and we were going to win it. And I think it's really a big reason why we've grown this year is because we didn't stop practicing last year. We practiced all the way up through Charlton County, and I thought Charlton was actually our best game. And again, had a moment. It was like 13-0, and then I think Raekwon, who's now at Appalachian State, breaks one and kind of busts the game open. And we had an opportunity there to have a ball game and kind of let it out of our reach. But we're going to have opportunities all year long to compete, and we are going to prepare Monday through Thursday, just like we always do, and show up Friday and play hard.
I know you will. I say been seeing y'all doing it all summer, seeing you do it all last year, and appreciate y'all's effort, and really feel like that effort's going to pay off this week in the win column.
Absolutely.
Hope so for you. Hope so for the kids. Feel like we can get some momentum going here with these next 2 non-region games, and then maybe move into the region and knock off maybe a few folks that folks
nice.
Thinks we shouldn't. And,
that would be nice. I mean, it's been fun coaching this group. You know, obviously the past 2 weeks losing has not felt great, but just being in the game. I mean, there were so many times last year where third quarter is running clock, and you're like, man, getting our head beat in, and our guys are responding. They're getting better, and it's just really rewarding. That's what makes coaching fun, is when kids get better and they listen to you and really believe in what you're preaching and try to do it the best they can.
That's right. Well, I think everybody will come out Friday night and get behind this team, and even if you just come up and we got an excellent band, come out and listen to the band and watch a great football game while you're there. And,
Yes, sir.
Coach, anything else before we sign off until next week?
No, we need everybody at the Rock 7:30 making noise. I know our kids really love playing at home and playing in front of the hometown, and just what makes high school football really special.
All right.
And playing for all the people of this community.
Yeah. Jeremy's got something he would like to say.
I do have a question. Next week is Labor Day, so are you guys going to do it?
Next Monday night.
Next Monday is
most
Labor Day.
likely not, because I will not.
So it'll be 2 weeks then instead of next week.
Yeah, probably come back in 2 weeks unless we want to do one on Tuesday or
Monday or Tuesday is no different for me. You know.
Well, there's probably softball games next Tuesday, so.
That's true.
We'll talk about it, and we'll let everyone know.
Oh, Friday night is Military Appreciation Night.
We'll talk
as
with
well.
Coach Ray's here with us tonight. He's sitting over in the corner behind us where he can't be seen, I guess. But
The man behind the scenes.
yeah, he has confirmed that all active military, and I'm not sure if retired military, but all whatever we've done in the past. If you're familiar with it, those folks will get into the ball game for free on Friday night, and come out and enjoy a good ball game and support our military. Coach, till Friday night.
See you at 7:30.
See everybody there.
Go Dogs.
Farmers and Merchants Bank has been helping people with their financial needs for over 100 years. And FMB is right here in Lakeland, Georgia to serve you. Whether you need personal banking with checking and savings accounts, money market and IRAs, or business banking with checking, cash management, and loans, FMB is also your lending solution for both personal and business. Whatever your banking needs, Farmers and Merchants Bank remains committed to be the best of the best. North Carter Street in Lakeland. Go Dogs! Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Huddle House in Lakeland, Georgia is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With a clean and friendly atmosphere, you'll always get the service you're looking for. They have a variety of menu items for you to choose from, whether it's an omelet or a hamburger. And you can even order takeout, whether you sit at the bar or at a table. The staff at Huddle House is always looking out for you. Huddle House in Lakeland, open 24/7, 251 West Main Street. That's 251 West Main Street. Stop on by and eat something.